Hello guys, welcome to the channel. In this video, we'll learn about Terraform and its ecosystem. Before we start, there are a few things that you need to know, like what is infrastructure as code or what is state management, as Terraform is built mostly on top of these two things. So now, what is infrastructure as code? Infrastructure as code, or IAC as its name suggests, is a paradigm for creating infrastructure using code. In IAC process, you write configuration, and that configuration is then processed by the provider to provision different infrastructures. IAC can help you to make your infrastructure reproducible as well, which can work as a good disaster recovery solution. Now let's talk about state management. State management is a process of tracking everything, whether it be existing or changed infrastructures. It is useful when you want to make sure certain state is always maintained. Okay, so now you know what infrastructure as code means and what state management means. So let's jump into Terraform. Terraform is a IAC tool that was developed by HashiCorp. It also provides features like state management for your infrastructure. Another feature that Terraform provides is it provides a abstraction over existing cloud provider specific API, so that you do not have to worry about remembering those long API calls. Terraform uses provider specific API calls under the hood. In the past, we used to provision infrastructure in cloud using their API and calling those API using command line tools like curl. But with Terraform, these things are abstracted over, so that you as a user do not need to worry about it. Terraform interprets the code written and runs appropriate API calls to provision, change, delete, resource, and then update the state file with those changes. It makes management of resource very easy. Terraform provides state management for your cloud infrastructure. It also helps you to make your infrastructure highly reproducible using infrastructure as code. Terraform promotes working in the team using GitOps. Also, Terraform not just creates VM or network, you can use it for other purposes as well, like creating DNS in Cloudflare or creating repository in Bitbucket. Terraform provides an easy way to share data between different providers. For example, you have a VM created on AWS can have a record created for it automatically in Cloudflare at the same time using Terraform. Working with Terraform is easy. You write code using Terraform declarative language called HCL, which is short for HashiCorp configuration language. Then run Terraform plan to see what changes it will make. Once you are okay with the changes, you run Terraform apply to implement those changes. Okay, let's talk about different Terraform terminologies. Do not worry if you do not understand everything at once. We'll look more into them when you start writing our own Terraform configuration file. Resource block is used to describe one or more infrastructure objects, such as instance or network. Each resource block has a type, its unique name, and configuration argument. Resource type and name are used together to identify this resource uniquely throughout the file. Data source are used to fetch information defined outside Terraform. Data source is written in a data block, which requests Terraform to read from the given data source and export that data into its local name. This name can be referred inside any resource as a configuration argument. Provider are the plugin to interact with the cloud service provider or other APIs. Once provider is added, it then adds all the resource and data types that can be used to manage that cloud provider. Each SaaS service provider or cloud provider have their own Terraform provider plugin. They are not maintained by HashiCorp, but instead maintained by the cloud provider themselves. There are different types of variables in Terraform, which are input variables, output, or locals. Input variable act as a function argument to your resource block. It is written in variable block with its name and type defined, and can be referenced using var keyword followed by its name. It is used to expose information or display information on command line. If you want to display IP address of the VM you just provisioned using Terraform, you can use output values. It is used to arrange multiple static values into a single block and can be referenced using local keyword followed by its name. Modules are used to group multiple resources together. It makes it easy to manage your Terraform code. In Terraform, you have root module and its child modules. Backend configuration is required to tell Terraform where to store the state information. You can store the state file locally or in cloud. Terraform stores state information into a file called state file. This file have extension .tfstate and .tfstate.backup. Do not delete this file as they are the single source of truth for your cloud infrastructure. A typical Terraform directory structure includes following files: main.tf to store the configuration of the resource, provider.tf to provide provider information, variable.tf to store the variables, output.tf to tell Terraform what output you want to be displayed. You can add all of these into a single file as well. Now let's just recap what we learned today. We learned what is infrastructure as code. We learned what state management is. We learned what Terraform is, how does it work, and why use Terraform. We learned what is the workflow of Terraform. We learned different Terraform terminologies, and also we saw what a standard Terraform directory looks like. Well, that's all folks. These are the things that you need to know to get started with Terraform. In the next video, we'll start applying these concepts learned here to start writing our own Terraform configuration file to manage cloud infrastructures. Thank you for watching till the end. Please comment below if this video was helpful to you. See you guys next time.